Hello and welcome back to our new tutorial. Now, essentially at this point we've been through the battle and the cinematic and so on, and it's opening now. It's to open the fitting window and
Let's fit your new module
so
in a
let's.
free slot.
Well, you can, but I can't actually use it. You see what I mean? Yeah. So you switch to equipment rather than personalization. Otherwise, that grays everything. So these are all new windows to make it look a little bit better, and so on.
Bring the module online.
So essentially, you can put this, click this little thing here. And it says
It
put
appears
online.
you do not currently possess the skill necessary to use this module. Hardly surprising. You still have... Please direct your attention to the icon on the display that I have highlighted. You can add the missing skill to your training key. Now, access the skill window from the Neocom.
So essentially, on your left there, just below your character portrait, yeah, click it. You have here.
For all capsuleers in New Eden, as they serve as the primary measurement of one's growth. A more highly skilled pilot will be most formidable indeed.
So the more you train skills, the better off you are in game. It's as simple as that. And knowing what to train is part of the difficult concept of EVE Online, which is why channels like ours exist and Discords like ours exist. We exist to help you understand everything we can with this game.
Training a new skill takes time, as the neural pathways of your brain are rewired.
So essentially, during your login rewards, you'll get skill points given to you, and you can just apply
All you have to do is confirm that the
skills, skill points.
I should point out that you can train skills while doing other things. It's a good strategy.
And the good thing is that you don't have to be online to train skills in the first place. I think that's the really important thing to know, is that you can queue up skills for months on end. So you can essentially create other accounts to do things that you want them to do, put all the skills required in, and then just leave them alone until they're done.
To that end, I've sent the air skill plan to your AI. Normally, you would have received it as part of your capsular training program.
Miss Calatrix's advice is sound. You should always have a skill in training. Let's start with this new one. And may it be the more skills you acquire, the stronger you'll be.
So just do what they say for now.
To grow as a capsuleer. Now, close the windows crowding your screen. It would be rather comical if you failed to see it. Let us online your mining laser upgrade. Now that you have the necessary skill to use, turn the
so again,
online.
Hover over it and put online.
Well done,
Normally you'd be able to right click on modules as well, but during the for some reason during this particular tutorial you actually can't, and the window here, attributes, will show how much DPS you're doing. With your effective hit points, that's your overall hit points, your resistances to damage. So blue is EM, red thermal, kinetic is sort of silver, and gold, brown is shield, is explosive damage, and you can see the resistances to those particular damages, and each ship will have different resistances depending on what they're doing, and at this point when you're doing certain things you'll be facing certain NPCs, and sometimes it's best to fit things to combat the damage that they, specific damage that they do, so that you can reduce the chances of death whilst playing the game.
Looks like you're ready to roll, Captain. Our agent will rendezvous with you at the mining site. Keep your eyes open and watch.
Miss Calatrix is right. Time is of the essence.
So now they want you on dock. So this is one of the air stations.
Captain, I have run several scenarios that could explain the mystery signal air discovered at the mining site. According to my calculations, the probability that the situation is unrelated to the attack on the cloning facility is exceptionally small. 1 in 37 million to be exact.
So here you gotta wait for them to stop talking.
To the site immediately.
Move the window. And just click warp to location. and it will go ahead and start moving your ship in that direction, and so on. So this here is the air career program, and as you do things within these, which we will talk about, you will gain money and career points. The more career points you get, essentially you will earn rewards, basically.
The scale of Air's mining operation is rather impressive for such a young corporation. They must be remarkably well funded. It is little wonder that Miss Calatrix would suspect espionage. Further speculation will have to wait. We're being hailed by that orca.
You must be the fresh meat Vesper told me to expect. Elias Pelton's a name, mining's a
So essentially now,
assist in any way we can with locating the source of the unusual signal.
unusual is one way of putting it. Pain in my ass is another. The signal's bouncing around these asteroids like a Feddo hopped up on a
yeah.
Miss Calatrix has
So keep going
outsourced
through all the
the
text and so
mining laser
on.
upgrade. That should clear
Good old Vesper, always 10 steps ahead.
Click on the mining tab.
Best way to blend in is by getting your hands dirty with the crew. Some miners fly solo, but a project this big isn't exactly a one-man show. Sometimes the only way to get shit done is with a fleet. I bet this is the first time you mined with a crew. No offense or anything, you just got that shiny new pod smell on you. Follow my lead and you...
If your competence matches your confidence, we are...
Essentially lock it up, and when you're within 10 kilometers, use the miner and kind of do what they're telling you to do. Basically, it really is as simple as that. So
Sincerest apologies, Elias. Our first name basis shall commence immediately.
there is a lot of talking
I like to keep things informal.
involved. Personally, not something I really like all that much, but
Sweet independence. Doesn't hurt that the money's good too.
Captain, we're now within range of the asteroid. We should stop here.
so essentially, this is one of the things that's wrong here with the tutorial, is the fact that they're telling you that when you're mining, you should be sat still. Not really. You shouldn't be sat still. You should always be orbiting
You can
asteroids.
your very own pile of rocks, as Elias puts it, in your cargo hold. It's
It might not look like much, but that's not just a pile of ore. It's a pile of possibilities. You can sell it, refine it, trade it. The choice is yours. Now, time to quit ogling your inventory. This asteroid's almost dry.
Yeah, so essentially they're telling you about what minerals, i.e. ore, is essentially used for. You can sell it in its raw form, you can refine it into other materials. Each ore generally has an ability to refine to different materials in different sections of space. The lower security status you go,
Resources is one of the best ways to earn money in New Eden.
then it's
If you want to make it as a capsuleer, the one thing you gotta know is that money is king. Hell, with enough ISK, you'll be able to buy yourself a sweet ride like that venture over there. That's one down. And now, on to the next. Follow me, Captain, and stick close. This asteroid field...
so the lower security status of a system you go to will have lower security ores. Low sec has ores that aren't available in high sec. Wormholes and ABs and
It's showtime.
null sec have materials that are not available in low security space or high security space. So each arena of space offers a chance for different,
you find particularly valuable for
you know,
new miners.
that other spaces don't offer.
Man, where to start? First off, you gotta know the difference between raw ore and refined minerals. What we're doing right now is mining ore in its raw state. For someone just learning the ropes, selling that ore is the quickest way to make ISK. But you can also reprocess ore into minerals. Take titanium, for example. You can't find that stuff in the wild. You've got to get your hands on some raw ore, like feldspar, and then refine it into titanium. You can sell those minerals or use them to build your own ships or equipment. You can find refineries at most stations. Experienced miners get way more efficient yields from their ore, so that's something you can work towards.
The asteroid is depleted.
We better close in on that rock, then.
So the more materials you mine, the more money you make, essentially. And as you move up through the ranks of mining, you have this ship, which then use a venture, which is the next ship, and the next ship after that is what's called a retriever, and that's a mining barge. And the yield of a mining barge is much higher than that of a venture. However, that being said, getting into those ships and piloting them and so on, essentially can be quite expensive. So as we are here, slowly moving into place here.
Completed. The signal is exceptionally strong in this location. Let's stop the ship here.
Just like that. We can whittle away at this asteroid without damaging whatever's broadcasting that signal.
So just essentially at this point, just keep doing what they're asking you to do. Enjoy the pretty lasers and all of that and so on. Ventures can have 2 mining lasers each, which is really handy. And the higher the level the mining laser, then the more output it will pull out of the materials that you're mining and the rocks and so on. So yeah, there is that.
Holy shit. I think we just found what we're looking for.
There you go. A ship hidden within a rock, eh?
The signal source appears to be that wrecked frigate. The fact that the wreck...
Well, we're not going to get any solid answers.
So now you're going to go ahead and loot the wrecked Dramiel, which will then give you whatever it is there's actually in there that they're asking you to pick up. And just remember, as a new player as well, if you do go down the mining path and you are suicide ganked in a venture or a retriever, please report it. It is now considered to be griefing.
I do
There we
love
go.
the feeling of striking
So
gold.
that's what you've got, and then click loot all, and it's got it there.
It appears to be a black box. A device designed to survive the destruction of the vessel.
That's nice and all, but can you open it?
Negative, Elias. Captain, the box is protected by multiple layers of encryption. While it's theoretically possible...
Don't think it's safe to
Yes.
crack it open here anyway. Where there's smoke, there's fire. One scout ship might mean they got friends lurking nearby. If we...
So here,
This is correct, Captain. The box may contain
A line
answers we
to-
need to discover why those unidentified ships attacked the cloning facility.
so again,
And why one was spying on this mining site.
align to the station. And then let's go
I don't
ahead.
want you out there alone. I'll send some of my best pilots back with you. Safety in numbers and all that.
So yes, if you are attacked
Wisely stated in
by griefers within EVE Online when flying a venture, a new player ship, or a retriever, and you do not have expensive modules, it is now considered to be griefing, and as such can be reported and the ship
I bet whoever
reimbursed.
sent that scout ship will be real salty that we got our hands on it. Stay sharp, Captain.
So make sure to report it.
Let's dock at the station. I'm certain Vesper is more than eager to see what we've found.
So there we go, ship is now docking. and we'll be back for the rest.